Hi, my name's Wendy Pieh. My husband, Peter Goth, and I have been raising cashmere goats here at Springtide Farm since 1997. And we have a herd we're proud of. Of course, we're all proud of our goats. And these goats have a variety of different types of guard hair, which you'll see and which I want to talk about, so that when you're getting into your goats and working with them, you can get what you want and what's best for the fiber. So the goat over here that's looking at me, she's got long guard hair. You can see it goes almost to the ground. And she has very fine fiber. It comes out really nice. This is when it's in between a medium and very short guard hair. That's her daughter. And this one, she has short guard hair. Okay, you can see that. There's no drip to it. This one is a medium. She's a little shorter than that one. And these two, their nickname they're fuzzballs. So what you see is cashmere. That's all cashmere that you're seeing. You can see some guard hair underneath it, but it's not longer than the fiber. And so that's kind of a description of these guys. And then different people gather their fiber different ways. Okay, there's two basic ways. One is combing it, and one is shearing it. And so folks that are shearing, you can imagine the advantage is to having the shorter guard hair, but the goat gets pretty dirty because it's not protected from the weather at all. So I'm partial to long guard hair, but it's just because I'm partial to it. It's not because it's the best way to do it or the worst way to do it. And then what is really important about every single one of these is that this guard hair, and that's this long stuff, that is be very coarse. And that's why her hair comes out so nicely, even though she has the long hair. It's very coarse and it separates right out. It also, if it sheds, it holds it. It keeps it in. Whereas if either of these girls shed, it's going to be out in birds' nests in, a day or two. So that's kind of why most of us breed for a little bit longer. But if you're shearing, all that gets sent into the dehairing company and the processing company, and they charge you by incoming weight, which means you're paying for all that extra. Well, you're not paying for it with them. With us, you are. But combing gets generally 50% yield, comes back as yarn, and shearing gets 25% because all the guard hair is with it. And we try to have as little guard hair as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them up. I'm going to show you the different tools we use, and then I'm going to start with her. What I have here is typical dehairing tools. Most people, well, there's not a most, but this is called a slicker brush you buy at the pet food store. It's real simple. I like about them is that when I get it loaded up with cashmere, I can push a button and I can get it off. And that really helps. The other typical kind is using a rake. And the rake, you just take it in, pull apart. Most of her hair is gone, but and you just lift it out. And I'll demonstrate that in a minute. So that's how that one works. This is my daughter's tool, and she won't work with anything else. And she lifts in and does it, and I'll demonstrate all of that. If you're interested in these rakes, it's concord-surgical.com/products/755, and it's an EJAY, Rackham, RAKOM-R1 for single row. They make them up to 3 rows, and I've tried that, and it doesn't work. So I use the single row, and I like them quite a lot. So I will use the slicker brush and the rake. Right, what I have here is a stanchion. It's mostly for milking. A lot of people have milk goats, use something like that if they're hand milking. And it winds down so they can get on it and then up, and then they're in the stanchion. And if they get fussy, I've got little posts I can put in on each side that will hold them in place when I'm working across from it. So what this is typical what I suggest you do with a long guard-haired goat, is you go through it with something like a slicker brush. You'll pull off a lot of loose cashmere, but you'll also get the guard hairs all nice and straight and ready to let that fiber go. So that's what I'm doing. And I keep a bucket right at the back to put her fiber in. This is her third time combing. But that's the idea on these long-haired goats. You can see how nicely, once the guard hair gets straight, I'll show you with the rake as well. One thing I'll mention is that this is called the britchin at the back. If you're going to get tangled, knotted, matted fiber from what it does, if you have enough guard hair to hang on to it, it'll start to tangle up and be a real problem to get out. And then you'll have to work your way back, and sometimes you have to cut some of it out. And the britchin is the hardest. And if you look at this, this is not what you're dreaming about. You see there's a ton of guard hair in this. If I go and get her previous combing, you'll see there's no guard hair almost, because this is late in the cycle. And I had 2 bucks in here in the last storm, and I wasn't going to bring the girls in to comb with them. I'll bring them in out of the weather. So that's an example on her. And her name is Blythe. You can send her oats. Thank you. She'll sign her signature. Right now she's not happy with me. So I'm going to put her back down, and I'm going to put her daughter, who's next to her, up next. And she might jump right up, so I'm going to see if she does. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Here, just so you'd be happy to be back. Oh. All right, let me put your tie on you. This goat is the best leader we've had in a long time. She never fights. She just says, well, let's all go over here. Come on down, you can jump. Oh, come on. Good girl. Good girl. So this is what I've got today, just in demonstration. Once we're done filming, I'll probably put her back up and get some more. But that's a good round. That's good. That's a nice big bunch for a year. And so she'll fit some more. And I have occasionally I have one doe that I didn't bring in because she's really shy. She'll give me 2 of these, and she gives it all one day. So every day I got to check her, because she's a fuzzball. She's one that doesn't have the long guard hair, or the long enough guard hair. Okay, Beatrice, can you do this without me putting the stanchion down? You want to try it? You want to try it? Oh, you are coming. You're coming. Okay. All right, what I want you to do, here, no, Beatrice, where are you going? Come on, here. Come on, all the way. Oh, what a star. That's the norm. They usually come up pretty well. Or if they don't, though, it's kind of hard to get them up here because I can't lift them. Good girl. Okay, so I have to look. Let's see. Okay, baby girl. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let me just show you. What I do on every goat every year is I get a sample from them, and I send it off for testing at, well, the lab I used to use closed, so right now I'm sending them to another judge. There's 2 or 3 of us that if you send your fiber to for $5, we'll assess every single one of your bags of cashmere, and that makes them eligible if they want to be registered as a North American cashmere goat. Then they have evidence that their goats have cashmere, and there's a database. If you go to cashmeregoatassociation.org, you can go and see the whole things that are offered by the association, and they're really helpful. I'm just cleaning up a little bit. I've been saving her up for today. So what I do when I take a sample, I like the rake. Well, let's try this. So what I do is I go in the middle of the side, and I make a little cross. And if you're shearing it, you cut off a 2-inch square. You shave it off. See, she's not shedding that much right there. Let me see if this does better. girl. So when I use the rake, unlike the slicker brush where I just go slide through, I nurse it out. And it actually gets less guard hair. I don't know why. But I think it's a slower method, and maybe it's not the world's best, but it's one I like. Everyone who combs goats for any length of time finds that I like to comb them this way, I like that way. And so what I'm doing now is I'm getting her sample. And I've already taken one off her, so I won't save this one, but I want people to see that. And it's real important, if you're raising cashmere goats, to have them have cashmere and to get yarn from it. It's magic and soft. You can look at how beautiful that is. Her fiber is real fine. So that's about what I get for one. And since she's already, I take it out of the bag when I get their sample, so I know she doesn't need one. Oh, I'll just put it in the bag thing. Here we go. So that's with her. Here's doing it with the rake. What you want to do to be careful with the rake is you don't want to go whack into their skin. You just kind of tease it. And then you just keep going till you get a bit. Now some people say with a rake you got to clean it every stroke because it'll bunch up at the bottom, but I've never had that feedback from people processing for me. So you see how nice that comes out. And now let me do the slicker brush, and it might do even better. I'm just partial to the rake for some reason. Okay, hi sweetie. Good girl. Yeah, look what's coming. Good girl. Yeah. So she's the daughter of Blythe, and her name is Beatrice. We name our babies kind of with the first letter of their mother so that we can see what bloodline we have. You know, we use a different buck every year. What do you think? I can get those, let me get the drips off you, and then we'll let you go. I'm not going to try to comb everybody completely out now. I just want everyone to know what it, oh, you're okay, hon. You're okay. It's okay. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. So do you need a little encouragement? Do ya? Will this help? Yeah, I thought so. So what I'm doing on her is I'm just going to get the fast stuff off so I can put her up later today maybe. Yeah, what a good girl. It's okay, you're all right. Okay, so that's an example. She's coming 3. We made this vast decision not to breed last year, and I ended up regretting it because now I'm not looking forward to except one who's going to have babies. So, you ready to get down? All right. I left your collar right on, didn't I? Okay, you want to come with me? Come on. Good girl. What a good girl. Right back with your mom. Okay, so if you're not going to get your fiber evaluated or anything, it's still worth saving because you can see what kind of production your goats give, and if you have a breeding program, it's really good to be able to breed for something you're looking for. And we got our first goats from a woman named Yvonne Taylor, and she had all these beautiful long guard hairs. And we have remained partial to it, but it's not necessarily the best unless it's nice and coarse. Like hers, fiber comes right out. And if she sheds it, she'll hang on to it for a while. Same with Beatrice. Harriet, you want to have a shot at it? I don't know. She's like a kid that just wants all the attention and right now.
Do you do any spinning?
I don't. Our daughter does, but we get it made into yarn. We get, and I think most of the cashmere people do that. We get some that's 2-ply, which are real fine, and then 3-ply that's a little bit coarser. But it's a lot of, knitting with cashmere is like combing with cashmere. It's slow because it's so fine to get anything of any size. So we have a lot of scarves and hats and things like that people go on our website and order patterns. In fact, I had a call from somebody who ordered one that I didn't realize it. Okay, let's see. We are going to do this again. What do you think, Harriet? You don't want any? I didn't think so. She's what you'd call a busybody, aren't you? I gotta untie you. Whenever you're handling these guys, just know where their horns are, because it can be really... Come on, come on. Come on, you're a big girl. Oh, come on, all the way. Come on, come on. Oh, you did it. Good girl. Good girl. Now, I don't think she's shedding yet very much, but I want to show you this. This is guard hair it's shorter than Beatrice, but some of her hair is showing out. Hold still, good girl. You're fine. You're fine. Don't step off. It's a long ways. So we got this one done and that one done. All right, Harriet. Now, oh Harriet. No, that's Miss Hero. Where's Harriet? There we are. Okay, so Harriet needs her sample. And that'll be what we can show. A lot of what we can show on her here is just to demonstrate how incredibly much fiber she has. The neck fiber, if there's going to be variability, the neck will often be a little coarser and longer, and the back a little finer and shorter. That's why we take our sample right from the middle. But her fiber does well, doesn't it? You didn't finish that. Okay. All right, I'll give you a little more. It's all right. Yeah. Now she knows where the bucket is. Okay. I'll grab another horse. Put that. Excuse me, Blythe. Thank you. Thank you, good girl. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do with her is just start on her neck, and you'll find this so different from the last two goats, is that's how much I've gotten from all those strokes. And that means that this hair hasn't let loose completely yet. And I'll use some with the rake, because I think some of it has that I could pluck out with the rake that's not really coming with the brush, so that I can show you that. It's kind of them to not shed all at once, because I would be so busy trying to keep up. All right, sweetie. Okay. It's really fun when electricity gets flying to get this off your hand. You put it in your bucket or wherever you're gathering stuff. Okay, sweetheart, let's see what we can do. Let's see what this does. What do you think? There you go. So this is nice to keep it in order, but really it's not the day you would try to comb the goat particularly. But she's giving some, and you can see, look at how, you want length in cashmere. It's got to be 1 1/4 inch and just a relaxed state in order to be cashmere. Yeah. Now I know what she's going to do now. She's going to say, oh, I'll start shedding. Yeah, I don't know how they figured out. I thought it was just the sunlight, but she's almost done. She's barely starting. I'm not trying to get a sample here. So again, I'm using the rake because the slicker brush really didn't get much out. So what I'm getting is, this just pulls out what's ready. And you can remember that I got a really nice handful, I think off Blythe or Beatrice. This is Harriet. She'd want you to know that. So that's kind of, I showed one before, but this is actual one I'm going to keep, so I'm going to be sure I get enough. And then she's pretty well in good shape at this point for what I'm trying to gather. Both these two, I was saving them up till they could get filmed, so that you could see what it's like, when it's coming off, and how important coarse guard hair is, not that it doesn't hold on to, doesn't make it matte, because then they can't dehair it and spin it into yarn. Oh, hush, Harriet. What? These guys are very used to telling me how high to jump, so this is a little different when I'm telling them to do something. All right, sweetie. Now, okay. So the next one we're going to look at, get her down. She may or may not jump up. I don't know how hungry she is. Oh, she ate her oats. Good girl. excuse me. I could do that from the other side, couldn't I? Yeah. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to get down and go the other way, though. Okay? You stay right there. No. All right. Well, don't run into Blythe. No. She don't want to go near Blythe. Come here. Come on. There you go. Blythe would never do anything, but she is the head honcho. That is. Oh, that's makeup. Okay. How's that? That work for you? Okay. Now, Monica is right here. She's a short guard-haired goat. I don't know if she'll jump up, but I'll give it a try. And these are her two babies, the fuzzballs. Yeah. There we go. Oh, we're going to go this way. She says, I don't want to go over there. I know you don't. Come on. Let me go over here. Yeah. There we go. That was a little awkward. Come on, you're hungry. I know you're really hungry. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I'd get up here now. Come on. No, you're not going to do it, are you? Okay. I got to put it down then. Ready? All right. You just hang out. Yeah, Blythe, you could be a lot more polite than that. Here, let's put you back, and I'll take the thing down. Come here. All right. I avoid this as much as possible. Okay, backwards. All right, now we'll try again. Yeah, I know you're uncomfortable, but we gotta get you up here. There we go, okay. No, right this way, come on. Come on, Monica. Come on, right here. Come on. Come on, good girl, come on. Come on, good girl. No, you're not gonna get down, you're gonna go in here where the oats are. Precious girl, oh, you're precious. No, stay over here. Stay over here, hon. There we go. There. I don't like that. Don't think that that's very polite. Now, of course, what did I do with my thing to stick it in? Can we get up? Good girl. I'm famous for this. I don't know how many of the clamps I've had to buy. All right, I'm gonna just tie this, use this to tie it. You're not gonna be here for a long time because you're mostly shut out. There, okay, I'm gonna put it up. What do you think? It says I'm not touching that food, you can do whatever you want. Oh, look. I can leave that. Okay, tools. I'm just going. That snort is like, cut it out. I've done my time. Yeah. So the short guard hair is nice in that it's very coarse and it's been pretty much longer than her fiber, but I never saw most of it leave. And so her bag compared to Blythe is like that, whereas Blythe is like this. And I'm not advocating any length of guard hair or anything like that, because I think everybody has reasons for how they decide to breed. How's that? Yeah, so what I'm doing, see, I'm still getting some, which you didn't think I would, but she protects it with that length. So that means it's really fine. It's going to stay in there. Oh, hush. Look at her lips all curled up. That's a sure sign of not really pleased with this situation. I'm gonna, see, this is the fun part, getting it off your hand. Go on. Anybody who's combed goats, here's a nice demonstration. So if you can get a bigger bundle, it comes off a little easier. A little easier. See if we can get some more with the rake. See what it does. You got a little here. I can feel it. Yeah, you can snort. This goat loves me, but right now she's a little out of sorts. This is not appropriate. No. She's the mother of the fuzzballs. She's really a good girl. Yeah, I'm getting enough now. I'm getting some. Yeah. So you see the difference when I went through with a slicker brush, I got almost nothing, but whatever she's kind of holding, she's willing to let go to the rake. Or it's just loosen the deeper tine, maybe plex it out. I don't really know, except that it works. That's kind of good to be open-minded about what tools you're going to end up using. And who's in it? Yeah. So you get the idea of it's just gathering it up, plucking it out, put it in your hand, and you just keep doing that. You're okay, hon. Okay. Go away. Go on. All right. So that's her. That gives you an idea of the real short guard hair. You got to catch it when they shed, because it's going to come out and they're going to give it away to the birds, mostly birds. Any bird's nest you find around here has a lot of cashmere. Yeah, you're a good girl. And they curl their lip like that, so it's like they're not pleased. Okay? Should we go put you away? All right. So if you do lose your little clamps, if you have one, you can get them at the hardware store. I think I have many somewhere or other, probably in the compost. Okay. All right. Where's your collar? You sure you want to get out? Let me put this on first. Give me a sec. Yeah. All these goats are my good friends. There's nobody who... Well, there's one that doesn't like me. One out of all the goats I've ever raised. There's a really nice man named Jonathan Mary who worked with us for 3 years, and she adored him. And then he and his wife had a baby, and they lived in a little apartment up here, and they got a house. So she's probably not forgiving me. I'm just seeing a little hair I can pluck. Yeah, come on. Watch out for that big goat. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You got to back up a little bit. Come on. I know you're strong. There. So I'm not going to use the stanchion on the little fuzz balls. I'm going to show you a different way to tie up if you don't have a stanchion or one that goes that will go up and down for you. I think they can be built pretty easy, but I'm not handy. All right. Okay, kidlets, you ready? Grab this one little tool. So if you're in a situation where you don't have a stanchion or something like that, what you do is what we call a cross tie. And all that is you take something like this, and this you can see it can move, and you hook it into a place that's close to them or next to them, which could be right here. Hi, sweetums. You guys are really close together. I guess that's all right. Is she going to eat your food? Yeah, I'm going to move you. Hang on. Just for a minute. Here, come over here. Come here. She's right here. There you go. There you go. Okay, now. Yeah, it's important to have plenty to eat. You'd think these guys were all skin and bones. I want more. All right. Okay, we got to get you up there. So what I'm doing is coming, I can't really see it, but so that their tie on their collar is tight. And then I'm taking this, the one that has two ends, I actually like doing this when they're tied up outside, but right now it's still too cold for me to... They have a long porch they tie up on, and it's not warm. And it's cold work doing it. So that's it, really it. What it does is keeps her head in one place. Doesn't mean she won't try to go back and forth. But let's see if she's given any fiber yet. That's the other thing. If she is, I got to catch it, you know, when she's doing it, because it'll be gone. Pretty girl. You're a pretty girl. What a pretty girl. Yeah. So first I'm going to get off, if I can, off the stuff that's connected, because she doesn't have the longer guard here, so it doesn't mess up her, what we call fleece. But you can see that. That's just all dirt and crud. She doesn't mind, but... So, yeah, you're a good girl. How you doing? Yeah. Her sister wants some. All right. I don't think she's shedding very much, if at all, but this is another case I'll try the rake and see if it pulls anything out. She doesn't like it. No, she doesn't like that. It's also a little knotted, which might be because it's not protected. What you want there? So her mother's Monica, and she's Masiru, which is the capital of the High Kingdom of Lesotho that's in Africa, where I worked for a few years. Well, I can't get much off her, so I'll turn around to her sister and see if she's coming any sooner. I don't know where it is. When are you going to give it up? All right. All right, I'll just move over here and see what we can see. Okay, ready? So every year we have to look up African names for our various babies. Hi. Did you want something? Did you? No, it's not oats yet. I gotta get ready. Harriet, you gotta move over. Skadoodle. Skadoodle. Thank you. So for me, an average day combing, I can do a good job on maybe 3 goats. I think some people are faster than me, but yeah, if you're combing, you have to be patient with yourself as well as with the animals, because it just takes time. And of course, when your fiber gets processed, it takes time too. Here's some. They have to get all that, any hair that comes in, they got to get it out. And they've got these machines that do it. But it's a slow process. So we pay quite a lot for it, which is one reason cashmere is so expensive. When you buy it, like one goat, what do you think? One goat might give you 6 ounces of actual fiber is a good turnout. I think some of that's because many of us have other things that we're doing with our lives, and so we don't get to comb them all the time. In India, Ladakh, where that's a whole lot of them, I think they just kind of get it off them. You know? Yeah. So yeah, she's given a little. It's a pretty taupe color. Yeah. But it didn't want to come with the other brush, except the dirt, which that was okay. Yeah, you're giving a little. Yeah, there's a little. There we go. What do you want? You already had yours. So that's what I do, and you can see it easing itself a little as I go, getting more comfortable. The fiber, I don't know if they have any control in letting go themselves. I kind of doubt it, but I do know as I comb, it tends to come a little easier as I go. So I don't know for sure. She's shedding a little bit more than her sister, but I'll probably get one good handful of going over her whole body, which I can do with the slicker brush just to make sure things aren't getting knotted too much. So that's basically it. What do you think? Yeah. There are more and more people, families raising cashmere goats. It's not so much now as, say, the ranchers. When they first started cashmere in this country, they flew in cashmere goats from Australia and tried to then cross them with the local animals. They had Spanish goats down in Texas, and a lot of them did that. And it was going pretty well, but what ended up happening was it cost the rancher more to get them sheared than he could make selling it. Because they'd sell it raw. They wouldn't be in the business like we are. We get it processed, and we sell the yarn and patterns and dye it, which is a lot of fun. I got you mesmerized. Look at you. You're not even finishing your oats. What's up? So you either like goats or you don't like goats. You know, they're very independent, very social. But I know a lot of people who farm sheep because they can herd them. If you want these guys to herd, you have to go somewhere and call and see if they come or have some oats or something. But they'll wait till you get right up to them, and then they'll scatter if you're trying to move them. So they're not real herdable. Goats in general have a lot of their own opinions. Yeah, yeah.